Hey everybody, welcome to the Healthy SBC Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Sutton. I'm here at the Extreme Fitness Studio with personal trainer Jonathan Minner, and we're going to be talking about their business, their training model, all that kind of stuff. And so, Jonathan, thank you so much for being on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Jonathan, if you just want to tell us a little bit about, why you became a trainer, how long you've been a trainer, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So I've been a trainer for 8 years now, and I became a personal trainer essentially because I was going to go to Louisiana Tech, had a scholarship to Louisiana Tech to be a dietitian, and I decided that while I was going through school, I wanted to be a certified personal trainer instead of working at like a fast food place or something around, Ruston.
Right.
So basically I met Allie Wilson, the owner, and I decided, in the interim of doing personal training before I went off to college that I wanted to just stick with this, and I've done it, like I said, for 8 years now.
Awesome. I love that. So when I went to Tech, I did the same thing. I didn't want to bag groceries or stuff. And so I ended up working at Green Clinic, a physical therapy clinic there, doing my thing. So I love that. I appreciate that because I didn't want to flip burgers. Nothing wrong with flipping burgers, but I didn't want to do it. Good. So what are some of the things that you enjoy about personal training that you get to do daily with people?
I think the main enjoyment I get from it is just seeing people go from basically, let's say that they're overweight. Mm-hmm. I enjoy seeing them transform into something better, essentially, and I enjoy seeing them change personality-wise from, being less confident to feeling better, like I said, losing weight. It just makes them a better person because they feel better, honestly, and that's what I enjoy the most. Yeah,
I love that. I didn't send you any questions. A lot of times I do, but I kind of like having conversations better. But one of the things that you said that I want to ask you about is how important do you feel like the confidence is for somebody to go from being unhealthy to more healthy?
So I think it's extremely important, honestly. I mean, it changes their lives. And just like I had one client as an example who would have meltdowns in the dressing room before she lost 70 pounds working with me. But
wow.
Beforehand, she would have meltdowns in the dressing room because she would have to get a bigger size or whatever else would happen. She wasn't happy.
Right.
And another thing she would do too is she wouldn't wear shorts and go places with her kids.
Oh man.
And so just because she didn't feel confident and feel good about herself. So she went from that to, wearing tank top, shorts, things like that. And, people don't think about the avoidance type behavior that happens when you're overweight or whatever else because you just don't feel confident. So
I like that. I mean, that totally changed her life.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I know I've struggled with weight my whole life, and when you can't fit in clothes, it's not fun.
Yes, absolutely.
So I get that, and then especially to the point where I've never really been scared to go out and wear certain things, but I know people do struggle with that, and then to be able to go and enjoy time with your kids and your family, that's a huge deal.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, I know you said you've been a personal trainer for about 8 years, and you've been here in this studio for 3.
That's right.
So talk about what y'all. I know y'all were looking for a location. You bought this, redid it. I mean, is this just like it's kind of what you need, or is it everything's here that people need to get in shape?
Everything's here that people need to get in shape. We're always expanding and growing, and adding new pieces of equipment. But honestly, we have everything you honestly would need.
Gotcha.
To get in shape.
Yeah, and it's really you, the personal trainer with the expertise, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I tell people all the time. I say, if you don't like a certain exercise, tell me. There's a million exercises to do.
Yes.
And that's kind of all I have in my little brain is exercises because I've been doing it forever. But I know you're the same way.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, good. Yeah, because as a physical therapist, I've seen people for maybe let's say 4 weeks. And then I'm getting ready to discharge them. They're doing better, but they say, "Hey, that one exercise we did was horrible. It made me hurt." And I'm like, "Well, why didn't you ever tell me that?"
Yes,
I know you know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anytime I always tell my clients that too. If I can tell them maybe they don't like something, I'll say, there's always a substitute for that if you want to do something different.
Right.
So,
What have you seen has been the most important maybe aspect of somebody going from, "Hey, I know I need to get into shape," but working with a personal trainer?
What do you mean exactly?
Like what really takes them from like knowing I want to start running to now I go run? Like what?
Now I understand.
What have you seen yet?
So I feel like everyone it's more to weight loss.
Sure.
Essentially, because that's who I really enjoy working with.
Okay.
Obviously, people want to lose weight. And, so I think just from the people I've worked with, they always have one moment where it's not the singular moment, but it's the accumulative effect of those tiny moments that lead them to say, I'm done, I need to change something. So I think a lot of people have that, to where maybe it's in the back of your head or whatever else, maybe you notice that your clothes are getting a little bit tighter, but when the jeans don't button up, that's when you say, okay, now it's time to do something.
Right.
So
it's just kind of a cumulative and then
absolutely.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm glad you said you like working with people with weight loss, because that was one of my next questions. Who do you like to serve? So why do you love to serve that population?
I think it goes back to what I said earlier about confidence for one, but it really is like a life-changing thing for them. They're not the same person when they finish, they feel, I don't think people realize how bad they feel until they start to feel better.
Right.
And, like you learn everything in reverse, honestly.
Yeah.
And so really that's it. I get the enjoyment of seeing them change, because there's nothing like seeing them change and seeing how they, just become a better person.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, one of the things I like to think about with any kind of transformation with people, we're not just physical, we're physical, spiritual, emotional,
absolutely.
All that stuff. And so you've already talked to that a million times already, is they change. They completely change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Overall for the better.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you see somebody that's like I said, having breakdowns in the dressing room to now wearing tank tops and shorts and going out in public,
yes.
that's a different person.
Yeah,
it's not 100%. Even the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. What's kind of your approach with working with clients? Do you like to meet them, sit down and talk to them for a little while about their goals and then get going? Do y'all just jump into things? How does that work?
I always have a consultation with my clients first. And so I need to understand what your goals are and where you're at and where you want to be. Basically, you always need those two things no matter what. But essentially, like I said, I'll meet with them and get a complete comprehensive overview of their goals, where they're at, their history in terms of exercise, and see where they're at health-wise right now. I have a full checklist, just like I'm sure you do, of any conditions you have or have had. So start with that, and then really dig deep on the goals, and after that, that's when we'll start working together and I can formulate a plan. Right.
And is it, so I know a lot of personal trainers just go to, let's say, Anytime Fitness or whatever the gyms are.
Yep.
And I know that's not what y'all have here. This is completely private. It's, what, 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 clients. Talk about that a little bit.
So, just like you said, it is different than training at like a big box gym, essentially, or a big commercial gym. So, we're completely private. It's by appointment only. Unless someone's in here training with a trainer, we don't have memberships. We don't have people just walking in and out. I train one person at a time, or I'll train two people together. But no matter what, the workouts, training programs, however you want to word it, it's always tailor-made to the client, regardless.
Right. Good. And I mean, to me, that's huge, because I know living in Ruston, when I was at Tech, there's a gym called Ad Life. I don't know if it was there when you were there, but anyway, they had a women's only part of the gym, because the women didn't want to work out with the meatheads, and and those guys didn't want to work out with the runners, and so I think that's huge for people that are looking for a personal trainer, because we know there's a ton of them here in Shreveport, Bossier, just like there's a ton of physical therapists or whatever. But I think that sets y'all apart from other people.
Absolutely. You have a lot higher level of comfort, as opposed to worrying about how you look every time you step in the gym. We're just kind of come as you are, and you come in and enjoy your workout, and that's it.
I think it also is big, because if you have, let's say you're in a big box gym and there's 30 people in there, well, you probably know all the other trainers and most of the people, so that also lends itself to you visiting with other people instead of focusing on your client, which y'all don't really have a problem with here.
Absolutely. So it's 30 minutes, it's focused, and you don't have any distractions, like you just said. So.
Right. What's the process like for somebody to, let's say, find you and schedule and like to get you as their personal trainer?
So you can always call me, message me, any way that you find me. Feel free to message me or call me, like I said. And then from there, I tell them, the exact basically model that we have.
Yeah.
And after that, if they want to move forward, get them on the phone, talk to them, make sure we're a good fit, and then schedule and have a consultation.
Yeah.
And then train them the same day.
And okay, cool. And they do that, so they'll come here for the consultation and all that. Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Have y'all been pretty successful with how you do this training model?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What I know you said you had one lady that lost like 70 pounds, so that's huge. I mean, I'm guessing that's I know that's not the norm, but I'm assuming that's not the exception either. Y'all have a lot of clients like that come in and are successful.
Yes, and it's really dependent on how much you're wanting to change. It's not, with weight loss, really any goals in general is not handed to you, and so it really takes a special person to want to change and commit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I talk to my kids about, you got to do this, you got to do this, and they're like, no, I don't want to do it. And so you just keep on, and they're never going to change because they're kids, and adults are the same way. You can't make somebody lose weight, you can't make them lift weights, things like that. Oh, I love that. What, talk about, I know you said losing weight, but as the company in general, do y'all focus on like an age group, a certain athlete type? Is there a as an avatar, I guess, who you serve?
Primarily business owners, doctors, lawyers, similar people who are high performing individuals that need a convenient place to train. Like I said, it's only 30 minutes. So it's 2% of your day.
Yeah.
And so someone who basically wants to optimize their workouts and doesn't need, the big gym experience and just needs to come in and get the workout done and then go, move on with their day and perform well. That's who we serve essentially.
Got it. Perfect. Let's talk about, so I like to do a little SBC spotlight is what I call it. And so you tell us, how can somebody contact you? What's the best way to contact you?
Via text message or phone call. Either one's perfectly fine. Do you want me to put my number?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want.
Okay, perfect. My number is 318-464-3323. Call or text, like I said, it's never too late if you call me. I just may not answer. I'll call you the next day, but yeah, that's perfect.
Perfect. And what's the location here?
The
address, yeah.
Okay, perfect. It's 4360 Uri Drive, right across from Anika Federal Credit Union.
Perfect. Awesome. And then you already said you serve, executives, doctors, lawyers, types like that are, 2% of your day. I love that. It's 2% of your day. That's going to be the title of this, 2% of your day. But anyway, Jonathan, I like to give, the last minute or so to somebody to just talk about whatever they want. I call it the microphone minute because that sounded dumb and I want to use it. So just, whatever you're passionate about, doesn't matter.
Okay. So we work with people who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, all the way up to their 80s. So, earlier I said that, essentially we work with high performing individuals, but at the same time, we have plenty of older clients as well. And we have kind of a mixed bag of clients. So we're not limited, whether you're injured or whatever else. We honestly pride ourselves on being able to work with people who have any sort of ailment, injury, etc. So don't feel like just because you have something going on physically that you can't still get in a workout, regardless of if you train here or not.
Yeah, I like that. Matter of fact, I just saw one of your clients is seeing one of my friends that's a PT, and so she was able to do a sit to stand for the first time because she's working with you and she's working with Mark Hart, my friend.
Yes.
And so like y'all work together with other professionals to get people back, so you don't have to be in perfect shape.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Jonathan, thanks so much for being on the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank
Awesome.
you.